In this session of endocrinology and reproduction topic, uh, we are going to study the pineal gland, the morphology, hormones secreted by the pineal gland, and the actions of the pineal gland hormones. And the learning objectives of this chapter are to study the morphology of pineal gland and to list out the hormones secreted by the pineal gland and to study the functions of the hormones secreted by the pineal gland and to understand the disorders caused due to abnormal secretion of the pineal gland. At the end of the session, the student uh, is to understand the morphology of the pineal gland and the hormones secreted by the pineal gland and the functions of hormones secreted by the gland and the disorders, if any, which are associated with the abnormal secretion of this hormone. Now, pineal gland is a very small, pea-sized and cone-shaped gland which is situated in the brain, and it is located in the epithalamus part of the brain. So it is actually situated very deep inside the brain, and it's a very small sized gland, endocrine gland, which measures about 5 to 8 mm in radius, and it is reddish gray in color. As far as histology is concerned, this gland is made up of pinealocytes. 90% of the gland consists of this type of cells, and astrocytes 10%. So pinealocytes are the ones which are functional part which secrete the hormone. So in this picture, you can see the position and the relative size of the pineal gland in the brain. So it is situated very deep in the brain in the epithalamus part, and it's very small. It's a very small pea-sized gland. And hormones. Pineal gland secretes only one hormone, that is melatonin. Melatonin is actually produced by serotonin. Serotonin is the precursor molecule which gets converted into melatonin, and this serotonin is also produced by the same gland. The secretion of melatonin hormone is actually under the influence of light. During daytime, very less amount of melatonin is produced, and during night, the melatonin secretion quantity increases almost 10 times. So more amount of melatonin is secreted during night and less amount of melatonin is secreted during the daytime. Let us understand the functions of melatonin hormone. This hormone has two important functions. One is it regulates the circadian rhythm in the humans. Now, circadian rhythm is a daily cycle which consists of about 24-hour cycle. It is also called sleep-wake cycle. So that is controlled by the melatonin hormone. And another function of melatonin is to regulate the secretion of other reproductive hormones. So circadian rhythm is a 24-hour biological cycle, and it is characterized by the sleep-wake activities in the human beings. Now more amount of hormone is secreted in response to the darkness. So more amount of hormone actually induces sleep. That's why we go to sleep in the night. And melatonin is responsible for that activity, and less amount of hormone is produced during the daytime. So in the circadian rhythm, which includes day and night, normally the human beings are active during the daytime when the melatonin is secreted in less quantity, and in the night the activity is reduced and humans go to sleep during the night. That is controlled by this particular hormone called melatonin. The second function of melatonin includes controlling the secretion of reproductive hormones. So indirectly it affects the reproductive process. reproduction process. Now, melatonin, it is known to block the secretion of gonadotropins, luteinizing hormone, and follicle stimulating hormone. So we know that the gonadotropins, luteinizing hormone, and follicle stimulating hormones play a very important role in the development and function of testis and ovary. So testis and ovary in turn produce the gonadic hormones, the hormones, sexual hormones. So in this way, melatonin indirectly affects the reproductive functions. As far as the disorders are concerned, the hypo and hyposecretion of melatonin may lead to some problems, like a pineal dysfunction, which may result in the reduced amount of melatonin, will lead to insomnia. Now, insomnia means disturbance in sleep. The person is unable to sleep. So, that is called insomnia. Abnormal thyroid function and some psychological symptoms like anxiety, and then the intestinal hyperactivity. So, these are some of the symptoms which conditions which occur due to less amount of melatonin secretion. Now, excess secretion of melatonin may result in lower blood pressure, abnormal adrenal functions, etc. Another problem which may arise in the pineal gland is the development of tumors. Most of the time, the tumors which appear in the pineal gland are benign tumors, and this tumor will block the aqueduct of Sylvius, and this blocking due to the development of tumor will affect the free movement of cerebrospinal fluid, and this will lead to the development of pressure inside the skull, and this condition will result in symptoms like or problems like seizures, nausea, headache, visual changes, etc. And development of cysts in the pineal gland may also lead to problems like seizures, sleep issues, and emotional disturbances. Now that's about the pineal gland. To summarize what we studied in this session, pineal gland is a small pea-sized gland which is located in the brain, and it secretes only one hormone, that is melatonin. Even though it secretes only one hormone, it's a very important gland because it controls the circadian rhythm in the humans. Now, circadian rhythm is a daily cycle which is controlled by this particular hormone. And another function of melatonin is it also controls the secretion of reproductive hormones. It affects the secretion of reproductive hormones. And hyposecretion and hypersecretion of melatonin may or will lead to some abnormal conditions. And development of tumors in the pineal gland will also affect the health of the human being. Now that's about the pineal gland. And further, we have some multiple choice questions, and you have to attend them. You please attend the multiple choice questions. Thank you.